Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. So today we'll be discussing growing pains and how to address accounting pain points. I do want to give it a few minutes just to allow people to join. So if you are here, please put in the chat where you're from and say hi. All right, so today, before we begin, I'd like to give you just some housekeeping rules and updates. So this webinar is designed to be interactive, and we do want to be able to answer any questions you may have. So at any point during the webinar, you can use the chat box on your screen, and that is over off to the side. And if we're not able to get to your questions during the actual webinar, we'll be following up with you one-on-one in the following days. And then at the end of the webinar, there will be a short survey that pops up just to ask how it was. Did you enjoy the topics? And then that will be good to go. So after that, you will be receiving a recording of today's webinar. And with that, I'd like to go ahead and introduce our speaker for today. So we're thrilled to introduce our speaker for today, and her name is Terri Spalsbury. With an impressive career spanning over 15 years in consultative selling across various business segments, Terri has continually excelled in serving client-facing SMB enterprise and SaaS product offerings. Her depth of experience is further highlighted by her proficiency in tailoring solutions to meet the unique needs of her clients, showcasing her ability to provide customized and effective solutions. We are privileged to have her share her wealth of knowledge and expertise with us today. So join us as Terri imparts her insights and best practices, which promise to be valuable for our discussion. Thanks, Terri. And now I'd like to pass it over to Rob to introduce Asyma and why this webinar is going on today.
Thanks, Lauren. Great to have everybody on the webinar today, and great to have Terri presenting again. I know we've had a number of sessions with Yooz, one being at our conference back in Edmonton of May of earlier in the year. The reason why Asyma likes to partner with Yooz on events like this is to help educate our customers on the technology that's available in the marketplace, and that technology needs to be able to streamline and make our organizations and businesses that we work with on different Sage platforms, whether it be Sage 300 or Sage Intacct, just get better features, functionality, and usability out of the solutions that are out there. And that's by streamlining and automating different business processes. And that's why we wanted to showcase Yooz today for our customers to look at the AP automation.
Thank you, Rob. And now we'll go ahead and pass it back to Terri, and she'll kick off the webinar.
Thank you both. I appreciate the insight, Rob, why you bring us here, why you invite us to work with your clients. And Lauren, thank you for the introduction. So we've got an exciting topic really at hand, I think. And what we'll do here is go ahead and outline some of the agenda that we're going to talk about today, and how to overcome those pain points in accounting. So I'm sure that you've all interacted with AI, or at least have heard of some of the buzzwords surrounding it. So to start off, we're going to break it down and talk about some ways it's making its way into the accounting space. Then we'll talk a little bit more about the current state of AP departments and how some of the traditional manual efforts could be affecting your organization. And coming off of those challenges, we'll also discuss AI-powered AP automation and how that can help eliminate manual data entry. Then we'll move into customized workflows to enhance your system. And finally, we'll round it out with any questions that you may have to Rob or to myself. So before we dive into the topics I mentioned, let's talk about some of the challenges that you might be facing in your AP department. These are common challenges, and I hear about them from clients so often. So we definitely understand the pains that you might be experiencing, like slow processes. So overall, slow processes, which is a combination of many of the other challenges that we've got coming up. Late payments due to bottlenecks and slow processes, you might struggle to get payments processed on time, leaving you with unhappy vendors and late fees, eating away at your company's budget. Struggles tracking down approvers. This can also be a reason for long processes and late payments, especially with the rise of hybrid and remote work. It's even more difficult to track down an unresponsive approver, and you can't just run down the hall to get an approval anymore. Lack of visibility. This could be covering a multitude of areas, from where your approval is in the process to data surrounding the process contributing to other areas like budget or your company's cash flow. Mundane tasks. So repeating those mindless data entry or the same tasks over and over again. Lost invoices. There's nothing more aggravating than getting to month-end closing and having to stop everything to locate a missing invoice, among other things, right? Invoice exceptions. So another challenge that may slow things down is having to go back and correct errors that were made. And finally, high processing cost, which can result in the cost being tied to physical paper invoices and processing, but also the extended time and overhead needed to get through the process when you run into all of these other issues. So, Rob, I'd like to ask you if any of these stand out to you as common complaints that you hear from your clients, or if there's anything that I may have missed that you'd like to add to this list that you may hear more often.
Based off of what I've heard, I think all of these are definitely pain points, and it differs between organization to organization and business to business, but definitely being able to have visibility in the organization or business. Taking mundane tasks and making them more efficient is definitely a key pain point that we see through a lot of organizations as well. And I mean, nobody likes late payments or a slow system or not even being able to find invoices. That's typically what we hear as common AP pain points. And then when you get with like larger organizations and businesses, being able to track down approvers is a big one too. Like, are they away from the office? Are they out on the road? Are they in another part of the province or another part of the country? That can really bottleneck operations as well, just with manual processes and approvers, right? So having something that can streamline that is definitely a must for streamlining operations.
Absolutely. And having everything in one system. I mean, that's, I think, a really big benefit is not having to go, back and forth or try to team someone or Slack someone, but having everything available at your fingertips. So thank you, Rob, for that insight. I think we're going to go ahead and move into our first poll question. So, just having discussed some of those common pain points that we've all felt in the AP department, these are a few of the top ones. So let's see what might be bothering you at the most right now. Missing invoices, errors in invoices, late payments, or a lack of visibility. So I know we've got a couple folks on right now, so if the poll popped up, getting those answered. And there is a little polls tab right there in the chat or popped up. So and Lauren, if you want to let me know whenever we close out that poll, that would be amazing.
All right, I just closed it out as we were waiting for some to come in. So if you want to hop into maybe what you commonly see and then also what Rob sees as the biggest challenge.
Sure. So, the biggest challenges that I hear more often about is the lack of visibility, just like Rob just mentioned, not really being able to tell where an invoice may be. And like I said, we don't really push those carts down the office hallways anymore, chase folks around with the old manila envelopes with all the lines on it, right? So getting those approvals digitally is huge. Eliminating the missing invoices, errors, and even late payments. That lack of visibility, in my opinion, is the biggest bottleneck, that a lot of companies run into. Would you agree, Rob, or do you have a different stance on that?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and advance. We'll get into some tools and technology to help overcome some of these common issues here in the AP department. So, now that we've talked about all those potentially aggravating pieces of the process, let's go ahead and talk about a hot topic most people are turning to these days. And I'm sure that you've all used, seen, or read about AI recently, as it's gaining a lot of attention in many sectors, but especially in the finance industry as a tool to help eliminate some challenges. So Rob, before we dive into this, do you have any initial thoughts on AI and its place in the finance department before we dig in a little deeper?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I believe is AI is becoming more and more important and a want and need by the finance teams. The more we can automate and utilize AI, the better, I believe, throughout organizations and businesses. And the fact that we can utilize this AI, it will really accelerate business and organizations if used properly.
Absolutely. And there are so many tools out there right now. So what is artificial intelligence? I think diving into this topic by starting with the basics is probably going to be, the best way to start. So artificial intelligence is an area of computer science that aims to create systems and machines capable of accomplishing tasks and projects as a human would. This includes things such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, perception, and language understanding. Okay, so the ultimate goal is to simulate and, in some cases, even surpass human intelligence, leading to revolutions in daily tasks. So many folks may be concerned that AI may take over their job, but in reality, it's a tool to help you accomplish your tasks and make your processes more efficient. So we're going to go ahead and dive a little deeper into that and go ahead and talk about a few of the different types of AI. So there are a few main types of AI, and it's based on their functionality that you might already be encountering. So we've got reactive machine AI. This is specifically designed to perform a task. It has no memory, right? Since it does not recall previous information, it only works with the presently available data. Some examples of this may be Netflix recommendation engine that uses your viewing history to process data sets and provide you a list of other similar content that you might enjoy. Or IBM's Deep Blue, which might be the most famous due to how long it's been around. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, this is the chess playing supercomputer that analyzes pieces on the board and then predicts the probability outcome of each move. In the late 90s, the computer beat Grandmaster Garry Kasparov. Limited memory AI. So unlike reactive machine AI, limited memory can recall past events and outcomes using past and present data to decide a course of action for a desired outcome. However, it cannot retain previous data over a long-term period. It does improve in performance as it's trained on more data, and some examples of this may be a generative AI tool, just like ChatGPT. So virtual assistants and chatbots like Siri or Alexa that understand questions and request to take action and compose a response, and even self-driving cars using this type of AI help them to understand the world around them and make informed decisions to use speed, brake, make turns, all the good stuff. So next we've got theory of mind AI. This is still in development and not something actually in play at the moment, but it does aim to understand the thoughts and emotions of other entities. So this could, in theory, simulate human-like interactions, inferring motives and reasoning to personal interactions. And researchers do hope to one day use this to analyze voices, images, and other kinds of data to respond on a more emotional level. And then lastly, next step up, we've got self-aware AI. So like theory of mind, this one is strictly theoretical, but would have the theory to understand its own conditions, traits, human emotions, and thoughts. Now, Remember, the last two types are only theoretical. When people tend to think of AI and robots taking over and eliminating their jobs, that type of AI is what's pictured. But in reality, AI is not human and cannot mimic human reasoning and strategy, only on what is given based on the set of rules and data. So, Rob, before we move on to some of the ways that AI is being used in the finance function specifically, what are your thoughts on people being afraid of AI and maybe even being hesitant to use it because they're fearful that it may make their job obsolete? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I believe that AI is inevitable, and the people that are able to learn to leverage it can actually create more job security because of that. The workplace is always going to need humans, and those humans are going to need to be able to make proactive business decisions. It's those humans that leverage AI that will succeed the most, in my opinion. Really, what you need to look at here is embracing the unknown and being able to accept change and work with change. And I think AI is just going to get stronger and stronger. And to reiterate, the people that leverage AI are going to have more job security from it.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I do think, not just job security, but also being able to, at times, to learn new skills or to move into higher level positions because, the menial or mundane tasks, like we discussed, data entry, is something that they're not having to worry about in the moment anymore, right? So I agree with you, Rob, 100%. So we're going to go ahead and advance here. Talk a little bit about AI in finance, because in the last, several years, right, in a few recent years, AI has really become a game changer in the financial industry, offering a multitude of benefits. One of the key areas where AI shines is in the realm of reducing errors and combating fraud. Traditional finance processes and manual processes, oftentimes can have human errors in data entry. Missed duplicate invoices are susceptible to fraud activities without the checks and balances that AI technology can put into place. AI steps in as an added layer of protection, complete with 2- and 3-way matching, leveraging advanced algorithms to scrutinize vast data sets and identify irregularities in real time. And it also can minimize errors. It can fortify the defense against fraudulent transactions, making our financial systems more secure and trustworthy without that human interaction. So, getting some things to become hands-free because of the efficiencies of AI, right? Reducing errors because of that AI technology. And I know I just said efficiency, enhancing efficiency, it's a key in any industry, and finance is certainly no exception. So AI brings a turbocharged boost to efficiency by automating those routine tasks from data entry to complex calculations. It saves time. It also allows for financial professionals to redirect their focus towards more strategic and value-added activities rather than just those mundane tasks like we kind of just talked about. And then, giving folks the ability to imagine the power, right, of having those tedious tasks handled seamlessly. It allows, folks to channel their expertise into being able to make more strategic decisions that shape the future of the financial endeavors of the company. And that leads us right into increased strategic decision making, right? So your decision making can become elevated and it can really reach new heights with the integration of AI in finance. Machine learning algorithms analyze historical data, identify patterns, and provide insights that humans might overlook or would potentially require extensive time to uncover. This enables financial institutions to make informed decisions and stay one step ahead in an ever-evolving market. So the ability that AI possesses to process a vast amount of data at incredible speeds actually empowers finance professionals to make strategic moves faster and potentially creates a greater impact on proactive planning rather than a reactive action after trends are discovered, further down the line. So Rob, have you seen any other benefits that AI may bring to finance? Anything I've missed or that you've witnessed through automation?
I guess this definitely covers the topics of finance, but I see AI reaching other sectors of the business other than just finance. Like my position here is also dealing with marketing and sales, and I see how AI is affecting that as well. It's being able to get information to the correct people and allow them to get the information that they require without having to intervene at different areas where maybe they're not quite at the point where they want to talk to a real human being. They're out looking for information right now, and what AI can do is recognize what they're looking for and feed them information to help them along their journey to gather the information that they're looking for to make an informed decision on whether it's sales, marketing, finance, or even in our personal day-to-day lives too, right? Like there's a
Yeah.
ton of technology out there, and AI is helping us with our personal lives as well, where we're getting information we want, we're getting help with different day-to-day tasks, and something that used to be a manual process, we're able to do a lot quicker now. We're able to gather information, compute that information, and make informed decisions, not just within business, but our personal lives as well. So I see AI affecting businesses and personal life for the better, again, if used properly.
Absolutely. I love that. You brought up a really good point. Chatbots, whenever folks visit a website and they may have a specific question, they don't necessarily want to interact with a human, and they're able to ask in that chat and get directed to the facts, right? Where they're going to find that information that they need. Or even Google ads, right? I think we've all been, subject to our phones are listening kind of topic, right? Where we've talked about something and next thing we know, we're getting suggestions or recommendations. A lot of that does come from the AI technology, to kind of guide us and give us the information that we're seeking. So I really appreciate that insight, Rob. We're going to kind of skip ahead here a little bit. We're going to look at implementing AI and what that kind of looks like, especially for folks who are interested in embracing AI into their department. There are a lot of things to consider before just jumping in to ensure that you're actually gaining benefit and it's not just complicating the process, right? So first, needing to assess your current processes, analyze what you're doing now. Where are the pain points, bottlenecks, and error-prone areas? And clean up that data, standardize those formats or processes. Next, you've got to set some goals. What outcomes do you want from implementing or incorporating a new technology? What processes do you have that are repetitive and rule-based? And then ensure that those goals match up with that overall business goal, okay? And then lastly here, creating parameters. AI is gonna need you to tell it what to do. So make sure that you've thought through that process because that's gonna be the most helpful thing, right? What should AI be working on? What should be checked by team members? So where is that human intervention or human touch needed? And what controls will you put in place to ensure accuracy and generate those highly desired AI outcomes? So another important piece here is talking about it with your team. So to successfully implement any new process, you really need buy-in from all of those who will be using it. So, making sure that you explain how it's going to help the team and not threaten their jobs. Be open to opportunities to refocus their efforts on more strategic projects and be transparent about the timelines and the expectations. Rob, I'm curious if you all have implemented any AI there or how you would maybe broach this subject with a team to make sure that everyone feels good about adoption or implementation.
As technology advisors, we're constantly looking for technology that we can better leverage within Asyma Solutions. And I mean, we're a Sage partner. We run Sage internally here at Asyma Solutions. So it's always something that we're looking into, and we're looking at how can this benefit our customer? And to be honest, AI can be scary, and it's scary to navigate, but it doesn't have to be. We want to tell our customers that they're not doing this alone. you're working with a team of experts, which we have Yooz on the call today, who are experts at AP automation and leveraging AI. So it's not having to do this all on your own. We develop trust with our customers and bringing in top level value added resellers such as Yooz AP automation, because we see the benefit that it can provide our customers. And really we're trying to develop trust and long-term relationships with our customers and our partners to ensure that there is success through all of these processes, cleaning up your processes, setting goals, and creating parameters. I mean, you don't have to do this alone. That's why we have Yooz. That's why we have other Sage software solutions that can help you along the way. And I mean, we're leveraging experts in the industry, right? Like I don't pretend to be an expert in AI, but I leverage experts in the industry to help me through that journey. And that's really why it's important to look at who you're partnered with too, and how they're going to get you to that point in success for your organization or business.
Absolutely. Another key point there is, partnering with the right folks, people that, really can be trusted, and make sure that they're, advising for the right, solutions for your organization. I agree. Again, Rob, you're hitting the nail on the head with this. So going to advance the slide here, and let's see here. So we have covered, some amazing benefits that AI can bring to your finance department, but I want to talk about the opposite for a few minutes. And I'm sure, as much as we would all love to have cutting edge technology in place to streamline our efforts, currently it may not be the reality. But manual processes could be costing, organizations in a few different ways. So Rob, I'm sure in what you do, you see a lot of manual or chaotic processes, especially over the years. You've been in this industry for such a long time. Would you mind sharing some things that maybe slow organizations down the most in your eyes?
Sure. I mean, so specifically for Asyma, 90% of the value we have in this business walk out the door each day. 90% of our business is our consulting team that provides support and implementations to our customers. So we see how valuable our people are, but at the same time, people can be the biggest bottleneck within your business and organization. And through AI, we can reduce errors and manual work, which in turn will allow people to focus their time on more important tasks that will help build the organization or business. So specifically for Asyma, the more that we can leverage AI and technology, the more effective our team will become in producing results for our customers, for implementing solutions, for training solutions. The more we can leverage that technology and that AI, the better our team's going to be able to focus on actually providing what matters, which is customer support and implementations.
Okay, yeah, that absolutely. I really appreciate that. So let's talk about maybe some of the more obvious costs of manual processes. The average cost in AP, we are going to talk about AP processes, right? So the average cost of processing an invoice is almost $13 manually. When you're processing a high volume of invoices, this becomes incredibly expensive. So not only are you paying for the paper itself, but there's also shipping and mailing and printing cost, even down to keeping the lights on to have that stuff manually data entered. Along with that, according to Ardent Partners' most recent survey, the AP Pulse on the mid-market, 26% of organizations report high processing costs and goals to bring down those processes down. So I want to note here that according to CFO.com, despite cutting costs overall due to inflationary pressure, 75% of CFOs plan to increase their spend on technology this year. So on the time side, which also equals money due to overhead cost on average, a single invoice takes about 14 and a half days to process. Imagine with technology in place, cutting multi-week long processes down to less than a day, a huge time savings there. And it's a common problem, as over half of the organizations surveyed reported approvals taking too long, which means we're spending time, with suppliers answering requests about where is their money. It's always going to happen, right? So Rob, question for you. What do you think is the most concerning, cost or time? How would you rank those?
I think it really depends on each organization. I mean, that it's going to be different for every single different person that you talk to. Cost reduction is always important, but I think the time aspect is the most important, because if you can save that time, what can your people do with that time, right? Like if we can make things more streamlined and efficient, where they're not focusing on more administrative, cumbersome tasks, what can they go out and then do for that business or that organization with that extra time they have?
Absolutely. I actually have a little equation that I like to run, whenever I'm consulting with clients. And I'll just share that with you now. You tell me, maybe share your thoughts with me. But imagine if we have, a AP specialist, right? They're dedicated to that manual data entry aspect of the business. How much of their time, right, are they spending doing data entry? So, as an example, let's say that their salary might be, 50,000 before any inclusion of benefits or anything like that. And then, if we said that they're spending 100% of their time on data entry, then we know that we're spending at least $50,000 a year to have our invoices manually data entered, right? Even if it's half the time, it's 25,000. So, in my opinion, that simple scenario there can really help companies kind of see where they could not only have that time savings, but also that money savings. Maybe that person's, skills can be better used on higher level tasks and gaining other better efficiencies in the company. Would you think that that example might be something to take into account when considering automation or AI?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Okay, good deal. So, while the costs on the last slide are pretty obvious, right? The cost of the manual processes, like I just said, can hinder the organization in ways that really aren't even directly tied to money as well. So, let's start with the issue of errors and risks, right? So manual processes are inherently prone to human errors. It's just the way it is. Whether it's a data entry mistake, a miscalculation, an oversight, a duplicate invoice, it's an error, and it can just happen. We're not perfect. So these errors not only lead to financial discrepancies, but can also pose significant risk to the integrity of the organization's financial records. Actually, one of our clients came to us and they sought out automation because transparently they had inadvertently made $1 million payment twice. And when they called their vendor and said, "Hey, we accidentally paid that twice," the vendor said, "No problem. We'll apply it to a credit as a credit to your account." Now, that's a huge mistake, right? That's $1 million cash flow problem. So inaccuracies like that in the AP department can result in a huge financial loss, compliance issues, and even damage to the organization's reputation. Our Ardent Partners reports that 24% of all invoices require exception handling due to bad or missing data. And talented professionals in AP may find their skills underutilized because they're spending valuable time rectifying errors that could have been avoided with more tech-enabled processes. Scalability is another critical area of impact. As organizations grow, manual processes struggle to keep up with increasing transaction volume. So the burden on AP professionals intensify, leading to burnout and decreased job satisfaction. Talented individuals eager to contribute strategically to the organization may find themselves mired in repetition and repetitive tasks instead of focusing on more complex and value-added activities. And as a company grows and processes more invoices, you need to hire more folks. So with AP technology, you can maximize the talent that you have. You can free up their time from those manual tasks, and the limitation in scalability not only affects the efficiency of the AP department, but also can sometimes hinder the organization's overall growth trajectory. So Lastly, on this slide here, we've got employees' morale and retention. So again, that manual process can take a toll on the morale of AP professionals. The monotony of repetitive tasks can lead to disengagement and frustration among the talented workforce. When skilled professionals feel their abilities are not being fully utilized, job satisfaction diminishes, and there's a higher likelihood of turnover. And this is a significant concern for organizations investing in the development and retention of top talent. And it's especially critical as the majority of financial leaders are concerned about the lack of qualified accounting talent. I think we can all agree we are graduating fewer and fewer accountants as the years go by. So while you might not initially think about these issues as cost of manual processes, they can actually create a pretty large impact. So, Rob, question, how important do you think reducing manual processes is for whenever it comes to attracting and retaining top talent? Do you think it's a key point?
I really like and appreciate this whole section here, just how it focuses not only on the effects to the overall business, but to the employees that work at this business as well. And I think oftentimes the focus is solely on the business and how is this going to impact the business and the revenue and the growth and all that. But rarely you see how it focuses on the actual employees that are doing these day-to-day tasks and really growing the business, right? So I believe that reducing manual processes actually increases the quality of life for the people at these businesses and organizations. And people want to work where they're going to have the best quality of life. So as you mentioned about keeping talent, and it's very hard to go and find good accounting talent, having a system that is automated like this and gets rid of the manual processes and the higher increased risk, I think you're going to be able to provide better quality of life to employees and keep them there a lot longer and have them producing more growth, more positive things throughout the business.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, personally, I do see it every day. I'm fortunate that I do get to work with folks as they, start to utilize AI and develop greater efficiencies through automated processes. And, so to see that, like we said, top talent really be able to start to engage some of their higher level skills, it's really neat. It's a great thing to be able to witness. Thanks for your insight, Rob. I really appreciate it. So we have spoken a little bit about AI and the future of finance, and we've spoken about manual processes and the costs that they bring to your company. So let's go ahead and start to talk about ways to start integrating AI into your organization while reducing manual efforts through AI-powered AP automation. AP automation can tremendously reduce your cost and raise your productivity by leveraging the power of AI that we've talked about at the beginning of this presentation to automate your processes and bring new technology to your organization. Rob, I know you just mentioned, one of the reasons that you partner with us is because we have the ability to streamline that AP process. Have you seen any other ways that bringing AI capabilities into a financial department or financial organization has improved their workflow processes and financial processes?
I have, Terry. I think really what I've seen is increased trust throughout the business and organizations, increased accuracy, speed of processing, and then overall peace of mind, knowing that the processes, the information that you're getting back out of the system is up to date and timely and accurate, which gives people peace of mind that they can make informed business decisions based off of.
You know what? I love that you pretty much just hammered out this next slide that I've got for you. So explaining some of those benefits a little more, these are the features that help strengthen the processes. So, You could start digital transformation processes by eliminating paper and moving processes online to a cloud-based program. And then, like we talked about, those manual processes that could be hindering employee morale and development, AP automation helps bring new skills through technology while freeing up their time to work more strategically. You're able to mitigate risk and fraud thanks to AI-powered AP automation. It can detect outliers in the data, signaling mistakes and inconsistencies before it's too late, before it's fully processed. And then naturally, your cycle time is going to decrease because you have the software extracting the data and reducing those manual efforts, as well as other features like to-do list and notifications so that approvals can happen even faster and more easily. You gain insights and significant amount of visibility into data and into the status of each invoice through the data in the process. And finally, you have dynamic and flexible workflows, which help route invoices automatically to the right place to be coded and approved. So with AP automation and AI, you can eliminate those manual processes in the organization, starting with the ability to upload over 15 different file formats through convenient capture methods like drag and drop, email, mobile phone upload, a multitude of file types, right? And then AI and OCR technology scans and extracts the data from your documents, so eliminating data entry. You can add even more features for enhanced functionality, like being able to add unlimited attachments at any stage of the AP process, whether it's a PR or PO, an invoice, a bill of lading, any other supporting documents, easy to attach. You can have integrated budgets into your AP automation platform. So invoices could tie directly to those budgets and automatically keep track of the deductions to have that higher level visibility. And you can automate your entire P2P process by adding payments to your solution as well. So creating an opportunity for early pay discounts and even cash back in some applications. And finally, adding real-time reporting to gain valuable insight into the overall financial health trends in your processes and insights into cash flow through advanced reporting features and extractable data. So powerful workflows are the true engine behind AI-powered AP automation and your path to efficiency. So with workflows, you can set your rules and paths to as many approvers at different levels or stages as needed, and you take the guesswork and lengthy processes out of play. You simply let the workflow move the approval to and from the correct people, alerting them as it goes. So with workflows and AP automation, you can make them as simple or as complex as you need. Unlimited combinations, so never having to be constrained by a templated process. Every organization is unique, so you need customized workflows to complement that. Have unlimited matching from the simple match to the most complex business processes. Unlimited rules. So consider the power of unlimited rules within your workflows. AP automation allows you to define those rules that can govern every aspect of your workflow, from routing invoices based on predefined criteria to automatically flagging discrepancies. These rules ensure accuracy and compliance within your organization's policies. The beauty here lies in the ability to create the rules that cater to your specific business logic, eliminating manual data intervention and reducing the risk of errors. So you could, as an example, route invoices based on their amount, route invoices based on specific vendors, keywords, even set out of office rules for employees to route to someone else in their absence. And, things just aren't going to slow down there. So additionally, let's not forget the dream of a touchless process from capture to payment. AP automation does empower a seamless integration of processes from the moment an invoice is captured to the final step of payment. So imagine that with your workflows being set up to mirror your current efforts, you may be able to create a completely hands-free process, so a touchless workflow. It can accelerate everything, the entire process, and also minimizes the risk of errors. It allows AP teams to focus on high value tasks rather than sitting and doing the data entry. So Rob, I know that you've experienced and been a part of several companies going from manual processes to technology-driven workflows and processes. Would you mind sharing a little bit of that experience and what you've seen from that?
Sure, Terry. To keep it simple, when we deal with manual processes, those steps can be skipped and rules broken. With technology-driven workflows, you're able to hold people accountable, and they can be set up to ensure processes are being followed and nothing is missed. So just to keep it simple, I think you can see that the technology-driven workflows provide sound results compared to manual processes, which can be skipped and rules broken.
I love that. And I would say too, from my experience, just to piggyback on that a little bit, the more automated you become and the more you can really verify and trust the system, the more efficient your workflows become. The more you're able to automate even further because you gain those greater efficiencies. Yeah, thanks, Rob. I appreciate you chiming in there. Aside from speeding up the cycle times and reducing cost, let's talk about increased visibility in the dynamic world of finance. So having a clear view of the processes is not just an advantage, it's a game changer. So we'll go ahead and explore how workflows in AP automation elevate visibility to new heights. So first, consider the ability to track invoices throughout the entire process. AP automation workflows provide transparent and traceable paths, just like Rob said. So being able to have that end-to-end visibility ensures that you're always in the know, eliminating the guesswork and enabling you to pinpoint the status and location of any invoice at any time, gaining greater efficiencies. On an individual level, AP automation gives you an organized and manageable to-do list rather than a seemingly endless stack of paper that's always growing. You always know when you have a new task thanks to personalized notifications that keep you in the loop. Real-time data. Another incredible plus to converting your manual processes to digital is your access to the data. So no more waiting for month end and close and updating the numbers and making sure they match across all the systems. With cloud-based AP automation, software will seamlessly sync with your ERP, running reports with real-time data to see where your company stands with cash flow, efficiency, and more. And you're able to use that data throughout the month to shift and make changes proactively. Manage your budget by dedicating invoices to the correct budget, all in the same platform, and from one location to many. Easily access all your entities from a single platform. Additionally, here we've got searchability. So imagine a world where searching for invoices is a breeze. Keyword searches, AP automation can bring that to life, quickly and easily locating any invoice using all kinds of criteria. Like I said, could be a keyword, vendor name, invoice number, specific date range. And it not only saves you time, but also empowers your team to retrieve the information that they need effortlessly, contributing again to overall operational efficiencies. The benefits of increased visibility extend beyond the AP department. Audits become a breeze, compliance is ensured, and strategic decision-making is fortified by the availability of real-time, accurate data. AP automation workflows not only streamline your processes, but also provide a clear window into the financial health of your organization. And in the ever-evolving landscape of finance, growth is not just a goal, it's a necessity. Oftentimes, though, traditional AP processes can pose challenges when it comes to scaling. And that's where AP automation and AI step in, offering a seamless path to expansion without the headache. AP automation allows your department to handle increased transaction volumes. So whether you're processing 100 invoices a month or 10,000, automation ensures that your processes can scale in tandem with your organization's growth. No more bottlenecks, no more overwhelmed staff, just a smooth and pain-free transition as your business flourishes. Streamline your full P2P process by integrating budgets, payments, and your ERP. It will unlock a wealth of efficiency and provide that data exchange. Now, let's talk about the magic of AI. Artificial intelligence in AP automation is not just a buzzword, it's a game changer. AI algorithms can analyze vast amounts of data with precision, automating repetitive tasks and minimizing errors. It not only boosts efficiency, but it also allows your talented team to focus on strategic initiatives that drive growth within the organization. AI becomes trusted and a trusted ally in your journey towards a pain-free expansion to maximize your team's productivity without having to hire more employees. But it doesn't stop there. Think about the enhanced decision-making capabilities that AI brings to the table. By leveraging machine learning, your AP department gains insight from historical data. It can identify patterns and make better informed decisions. The strategic foresight becomes invaluable as you navigate the complexities of a growing business, ensuring that your decisions are not just reactive, but proactive. AI-powered AP automation offers a blueprint for pain-free growth in the accounts payable department. Now, Rob, what do you think about this combination? What would you advise those here with us today if they're considering adding automation to their processes?
I mean, I think this slide very simply puts it, pain-free growth. And this is truly a solution that you can implement in your business or organization that provides just that. It's pain-free and it allows you to grow your business. It allows you to become more effective, reduce down those manual processes, reduce risk. So I mean, it's taking away the risk and giving you all the benefits. So
Absolutely.
I mean, there's not much more to say than pain-free growth.
I agree with you. Keeping it simple at its highest level, anything that's pain-free and allows for growth feels like a win-win, right? If you're interested in starting your journey, to the digital transformation and want to explore AI-powered automation as a tool, Yooz can certainly help. We're an unmatched all-in-one solution that can cover the entire P2P process from capture, review, approval, and pay in a single web-based solution. So with the combination of smart data extraction, OCR, and AI deep learning, along with big data technologies, Yooz is able to automatically take care of a number of fraud preventions and detection steps that I've mentioned previously for each invoice, all while creating significantly less manual work for your staff. Significant time and money savings come into play here with an 80% cost reduction in invoice processing, which could be crucial in fighting inflation. Every document that goes through the Yooz platform automatically tags a detailed document history to track every action taken on the document with a timestamp and user account information for a detailed audit history that you can easily access when you need it. And finally, in the pay block here, all of our processes we can complete the P2P process with payments. And all you need is an email address from one of your vendors, and we're able to set that up with them. Our cloud-based AP automation solution means that your entire purchase to pay process is protected by ironclad securities while still remaining easily accessible when and where you need it. So next slide here, we do have time for questions. I know we've got a few attendees, so if there are any questions that you may have, please drop them into the chat and we could take a moment to answer those. And Rob, if there's anything that you'd like to add here or any questions that you may have that you believe your audience may be interested in, I'd love for you to throw those my way.
No, I think you did a really good job of covering the topic today, Terri.
Okay, perfect. And I don't see anyone typing here, so Lauren, I will hand it back over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, that is all the time we have for today. So thank you again, Terri and Rob, for the great conversation and great presentation overall. It was a pleasure to have the both of you with us. So if there were any questions after the webinar and we didn't get to them, please follow up. We'll be following up with y'all so that we can answer those. And then as a reminder, be on the lookout for an email with the recording of this webinar in the coming days. And then at the end, there will be a survey, just once again, asking how the presentation was, what your thoughts were, and it'll pop up shortly after the webinar. And if you had any additional questions, you can also add them in there. So thank you all again for attending, and we hope you enjoyed this presentation. Have a great day.